You should consider opening an Etsy shop, and in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why. So we're going to be talking about answering that age-old question of, is opening an Etsy shop worth it? Whether you're just getting started in the stationery business or you have spent years in the business and maybe you're experiencing a slump in sales, or you're just looking for other ways to build traffic and momentum in your business, in this video, my goal is for you to walk away understanding 3 key benefits to having an Etsy shop. In case we haven't met yet, my name is Valerie Freeman and I'm the founder of Betty Lou Papery. I started my business in 2013 on Etsy, and I truly believe that without Etsy, my brand would not have the visibility and recognition that it has today. When it comes to Etsy, creatives and stationery designers often end at a roadblock of frustration. Maybe you're thinking, why should I start an Etsy shop if I could just grow my brand on my own through social media or networking? Or maybe you're thinking that Etsy might cheapen your brand. You might also be worried that the market of Etsy is a little bit oversaturated and if it's too late for you to even start. But I'm here to tell you that if you use Etsy strategically, it can be a great way to build momentum for your business and generate consistent revenue. Number 1, Etsy has a huge audience of people who are ready to buy. So I like to think of Etsy as a bit of a hybrid between an e-commerce platform and a social media website. So it's kind of like Instagram or Pinterest, where people can go and find different ideas and connect with different people and brands. But then it's also an e-commerce platform because you're able to directly purchase goods from Etsy. However, unlike social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest, people are not going to Etsy for inspiration or just because they need to be entertained for a few minutes or they're just bored scrolling through their phone. Instead, people are actually going to Etsy to buy something. And that is the key difference. Especially when you are first starting your business, it can be really hard to get those first few sales under your belt and get a few testimonials to really build up the social proof that you're going to need to keep going. And Etsy can do a great job of providing those things for you. Etsy's large audience size is incredibly lucrative, whether you have been in business for 5 minutes or 5 years. And if you learn how to use their audience strategically and you understand how to market to their audience, then you can use it to leverage your business. Number 2, you can use Etsy to target high-end couples and gain traction in your business. I have heard so many times over and over again that Etsy shoppers are cheap and they're just looking for a deal, and I just have to say that that is absolutely not true. So Etsy's audience are looking for one of 3 things. They want something vintage, something handmade, or something DIY. And the DIY category would really be like a tool or a supply to make things. One way that I have been able to achieve incredible success on Etsy is by targeting the audience of shoppers who are looking for something handmade. Those handmade shoppers are absolutely incredible. They'll be loyal to your brand and they will be willing to pay a higher price for the high level of customization and service that you're going to offer them. Number 3. Etsy, when done correctly, can create a quick cash injection in your business. Etsy can be a really great place to help you quickly generate revenue. Just refer back to number 1, where we talked about Etsy's large audience size of people who are willing to buy your products. Now, there is a common misconception that it can take a really long time to make your first few sales on Etsy, and I am here to attest to you that that is just not true. Back in 2018, I opened a template shop on the side. It was my second Etsy shop, and within the first 2 months of opening, I had made over $4,000 in sales. In addition, I just reopened my Etsy shop this year after taking a 6-month hiatus to do some coaching for other stationery designers and launch a course that I had released earlier this year. So once my schedule settled down a little bit, I decided to reopen my Etsy shop. It had been closed for about 6 months or so. And within the last 30 days, I've made over $5,000 from just 14 orders. Now, this was me basically being on a 6-month hiatus from Etsy, not having anything on Etsy in 6 months. All of my listings had expired, and I really just kind of had to restart my Etsy shop from scratch. I had to create a lot of different new listings because things have changed in my business. I ended up removing a lot of products, even products that had actually been best sellers for me before I had closed my Etsy shop. And even though I've been on Etsy for over a decade, I was actually really surprised that in that short amount of time, I was able to generate that much revenue. Now, of course, it wasn't always like that. When I first started my Etsy shop back in 2013, it was just a side hustle for me. I wasn't taking it seriously. I didn't know how to optimize my shop or set everything up strategically. And in those first few months, it took me a really long time to even make my first sale. Now, I've learned a lot over the past decade of being in business, and so when I started that template shop back in 2018, it was really easy for me to start a brand new shop on Etsy and quickly optimize it so that I could gain traction and make sales in my business. All right, I hope this video has been informative for you. My purpose with this video was to just get you to open your eyes and your mind into understanding how Etsy can bring additional value to your business, whether you're just getting started and you're trying to get your business off the ground, or you've been in business for a few years now and you're just trying to add additional leverage to your business. Is Etsy for everyone? Maybe not. Maybe I'm just a little bit biased because Etsy was how I took my side hustle into a full-time job. But maybe it's right for you. So my purpose in this video was just to share with you some of the benefits that Etsy can have in your business and to get you thinking about how you could use Etsy strategically to gain traction and leverage in your own business. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have found this incredibly insightful and helpful in understanding how Etsy could work for your business. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will get back to you.